Hey, hey, hey. What's up, fam? Reverend T is in the building on today. It is Tuesdays with Tawana. I am your host and your curator, and I just so happen to be celebrating my 51st birthday today. Whoop, whoop. Yes, yes, about to embark on the 51st turn around the sun, and I am so, so grateful. What's up, Tony? Yes, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Lisette, thank you. My beautiful niece is on. Yes, we are still rocking and rolling today. How about that? Um, just celebrating today because who would have thought with my lipstick on, yes, to match my red lips on my shirt. Yes, yes, one time for the birthday girl, one time for the birthday girl. Yes, I am so excited, and I could not have gone through this day without community, without celebrating with each of you. I am just so, 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 so grateful um, to be here. Yes, to be here. So let's open up. I must open up with one of my favorite poems by Lucille Clifton, which is so appropriate for today and any day that a Black woman stands in her agency and her beautiful prowess and her divine presence and showing up unapologetically and authentically, especially on this day where there are so many that did not make it to see 51, losing a lot of my classmates, my seminary classmates, hearing about death and loss of children. So let me invite you to come and celebrate with me when I have what I have shaped into a kind of life. I had no model, both born in Babylon, both non-white and woman. What did I see to be except myself? I made it all up. Here on this bridge between starshine and clay, may one hand holding tight my other hand come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. So won't you celebrate with me on today, this day that who knew, we never know what we're going to see, and tomorrow is not promised to us. And it's just amazing that um, I'm here. I'm here. Um, I don't know what else to say. I am here. Kirk, hey, thank you for the birthday wishes. My brother Larry is on, sent me beautiful flowers, and just it's not only the flowers, but it's what is being felt when I receive the flowers and um, what is being said in the messages on the flowers. Just make my day. Just the beauty and people holding me up and showing so much love. I am really grateful. I don't take it for granted. I create this moment for what it is, to show love, to give love, to receive love, to share my journey, um, to hey Mama Lovey, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Oh, and those of you who will listen via podcast later, the names that I insert into this narrative, we are on Facebook Live and we also record as a podcast. So they may be unfamiliar names, and you may be like, well, whoa, why is she stopping to acknowledge all these people? Because this is my village, this is my tribe. These are people that have been rocking with me for a very long time, whether it's all of my life, like my big brother, or those in Denver who rocked with me for 9 years, those who have been rocking with me since November 2016, when I was diagnosed with HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer, went through multiple surgeries. As a matter of fact, my last surgery was, it'll be a year tomorrow. I had my surprise birthday party with like 80 people. None of us got COVID because we didn't know what in the COVID was going on, right? We didn't know we were shut down and people flew in from all over the place, and we partied, we hugged. My friend Renee posted the other day that it was probably the last time that we had this opportunity to hug and to eat at a table without a mask on and get dressed up and put on some lipstick where your mask is, you wear a mask, so why wear lipstick? And just family and friends from all over came to gather, and we just hugged and hugged and hugged and hugged and ate and drank and hugged and danced and hugged, and we didn't have to worry, and life was so different then. And who knew that I would have emergency surgery the next day? And only by the grace of God, I had that surgery, because soon after we shut down as a country, and then most surgeries were canceled. I'm sure mine probably would have went on because it was an emergency surgery, but the risk that would have been involved, right? Then we were struggling with personal protective equipment and getting appropriate stuff and getting masks, and we had the toilet tissue pandemic going on, all of that happening around my birthday. And I say this and honor my birthday and acknowledge my birthday because tomorrow is not promised to us, and because I enjoy community and I enjoy fellowshipping with my village, and because I am here. I am here. I have my good days and my not so good days. And when I have not so good days, I relax or rest or sleep or take care of myself, or check my movements and my behaviors and food intake or whatever it is, and taking care of myself. So this is how I am graced with showing up on Tuesdays, where I'm usually at my best, and the energy and the loving energy that I feel from everyone, it brings the best out of me. It brings this hope and this joy out of me. It creates this co-healing space, because healing happens in community. It brings just an air of feeling the prayers and feeling the thoughts of love. It's just amazing. Hey, Jules, glad you are here on my birthday as well. So just the opportunity to do this. So, when we talk about platforms, and we have so many creators and creatives out there now, particularly in the Black community, Black women and Black men, during this pandemic, there is so much beauty coming out of this pandemic. There is so much beauty coming through entrepreneurship, going back to school, creating your own thing, being your own boss, whatever it is, healing and striving, and being aware of things that can be harmful to you, whether it's domestic violence or different forms of cancer or diabetes. There's so much awareness happening, and people are now taking advantage of that awareness and really embodying change in their world, so we can join in and be on this journey of healing together, right? So in the poem, when it says, "Won't you come and celebrate with me?" it opens with that. And at the end, it says, "Because every day something has tried to kill me and has failed." And even those, and it doesn't dishonor those who were killed unjustly by law enforcement, whether we're coming up on the reflection time of the murder of George Floyd, the murder of Breonna Taylor. We are still fighting for justice for Elijah McClain. His birthday just passed a couple of weeks ago. Time goes by so fast. But his mom, Shanine, was on The View, which was very refreshing and powerful to see with her courage. So there's so much happening and so much joy and so much coming out and so much coming forth that right now, that's what I feel. I don't know what none of us know what our life expectancy is, right? Disease or otherwise. And each day I do my very best. Sometimes, my best is my best, and it's just to be alone and to rest. But I do my best to live out this life in a form of healing and exemplifying this healing for others, and healing, redefining and offering a model or a different model of what healing means. And healing can happen on this side or on the next, whatever you believe in. Healing can happen in rest, eternal rest, where there is no more pain and no more suffering. Healing can happen on this side, where I may be constantly going in for testing. I just had treatment on yesterday. So that's a part of my healing journey. They changed the dosage. They reduced the dosage a bit to help with my fatigue because it was taking me too long to recover from chemo. So I get chemo and a targeted therapy together. And it's about a half an hour for it to go through my system along with steroids. So the fatigue is a side effect of the Kadcyla, which is the chemo and the targeted therapy. But I was taking too long to recover. I get it every 3 weeks because that's how long it takes for your body to recover in order to go through the next mode of treatment, or the next cycle of treatment. And it was taking me a week and a half, almost 2 weeks to recover. And then this last week, I would feel good. The third week, I would feel great. I would have treatment. I'm on steroids, so I feel good. And then there's this crash that happens, and I have to navigate that space, not only for my health and for my well-being so that I can see more birthdays like this, but I also have to navigate this space with how I engage with people in my life, and the energy that I receive. Like, I'm pursuing my PhD, and I will have to work very hard in order to graduate come July, because I'm not trying to give them any more money July 1st. I'm trying to be done. But it is a long, daunting road. So keep me in your prayers with getting this PhD done, complete, finished, finito. I needed to be done by June 30th. So, and it's so appropriate because it's really talking about the work that has been done with Soul to Soul Sisters. I am so amazingly and humbly proud of the team. As most of you know, I don't do day to day stuff. I had to step down back in November of 2018. 2019 maybe, because my body just couldn't sustain it. And sometimes you got to step back and trust that other things are going to be, and other people are going to be put in place, and other energies and creators are going to be put in place. And the amazing team at Soul to Soul Sisters is just that, just absolutely amazing. So I'm so grateful for them, and they give me life. This group, this community that joins me every Tuesday gives me life. My PhD cohort, those of us who just earned their PhD, or those who are earning it right now, we still talk, we still come together as Black women, doing this PhD thing, which first generation PhDers, going through a PhD with, health issues and life issues and a global pandemic. And, it's really, really hard. Hey, Dorsey, I'm glad you made it. And it was so good to hear your voice today. And oh, Reggie Jones is in the building. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Um, so it's just a lot, right? So I come on because sometimes that um, the magnitude or it being a lot is this is my break, to share and to get feedback from my beloveds and to be in community with my beloveds because we can't figure all of this out on our own, right? I even have on pearls today, y'all, to represent us. Yeah, no, I don't do the jewelry thing. That's for Mother Carolyn on Transformation Thursdays. But today I decided to put on some pearl earrings. But I had to keep the hoops on though, because that's just what I do. I'm from Harlem, Wagner born and raised. Yeah, hooping it up all the time. So, um, yes, thank you, brother. Family, yo, my family rocks. My family loves me. I love them. They check on me, call, text, whatever. Show up on Tuesdays with Tawana, catch it later. Um, yeah, I'm just so grateful. And we're all, we all go through different challenges, and yet we all find the time to show love and support of one another. And I am so grateful. So grateful. So, going back to the poem, Won't You Come and Celebrate with Me? Because every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. Hey, mother, thank you. Was just calling your name. Just talking about my pearls and saying how this jewelry thing is your thing. So I still had to throw on my hoop earrings, even though I have on my pearls as well, my pearl earrings. But as we look at Lucille Clifton and we say, come and celebrate with me, I truly invite you day to day to come and celebrate in community, to celebrate healing, to really speak healing into one another's lives, especially since we're going through a time where people are dying alone, people are um, they're healing in spaces and places that they're not accustomed to. There was a time when, one of my surgeries, my peeps came through every day. Like we had an assignment. Like Amanda came one day, Mama Lovey came another day, Mother Carrie came one day, Rochelle came another day, Dawn came another. I mean, that was how we lived, and now that's no longer the case because this pandemic, we're living in it and through it, and it's going to take some time. And who knew that we would be embarking on a year? Hey, Stina, thank you, beautiful. Much love to you and your family. Thank you for the birthday wishes. So, in all of that, we're healing. We're even healing differently, right? Our spaces and our places, and even how we're, hospital visits. And I used to go to treatment, and I never went alone. Like there was one time I went to my plastic surgeon alone, and my plastic surgeon was like, where's your crew? Like, what's going on? So I always was with a crew of no less than one and maybe about 4 or 5 people rolling with me to treatment or to surgery. And that's what, this day is all about. This birthday is really reflecting on 51 years that I didn't know I would make it to, the things that I've been through in Wagner projects, the things that I went through as an adult. I'm grateful to God that I am still here. I'm still in the process of healing. Healing ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it. Um, so yeah, just yeah, I'm overwhelmed with joy to see 51 years on this side. Um, yeah, and to be so loved. So, of course, this broadcast is never just about me and any type of self aggrandizement, or I definitely encourage you to just surround yourselves with some loving people and people that speak life into you from their hearts to yours, and you can reciprocate that love and appreciation and gratitude. Even when everything seems to be shot to hell, getting up in the morning and saying, I just thank you for breath. I think if you have food, I thank you for food. If you have a means to get food from pantries or any other services, grateful for that. If you are able to work from home, that is not the norm for everybody. So on this day, just reflecting on the challenges and yet being grateful, because then with gratitude we open up space for things to happen, for things to change. In order for things to change, we got to want it to change. We got to show up for change. It's not just going to happen by happenstance, or we're going to set levels of intention, right? And then we're also, we have an opportunity to think about intention and impact. You may have great intentions, but the impact might not be what one had hoped for. Um, so being very mindful of intention and impact. Hey, Donald. Thank you for the birthday wishes and always just bigging me up. I'm so grateful, so grateful. Much love to you and my fam. I miss the Lewis fam. I miss y'all. Thank you for joining. So, when we talk about intention and impact, my intention on this broadcast is really to be authentic and to share and to be mindful that my story sometimes intertwines with other people's stories. So I have to be mindful of that, because that can be very hurtful. We're still dealing with grief and loss, and we know that grief and loss is not just death, it's losing certain abilities, or losing time to go to the doctor and to the hospital and things of that nature. So it's, hey, Nancy, thank you, beloved. I love you so much. Um, so intention and impact, just being mindful of that. We're not called to be perfect. We have permission to make mistakes, and then to own up to those mistakes and to have conversations with those where either mistakes happened, or you can say, well, I intended this. I didn't know the impact was going to be this great, and I forgive me for that, right? So we just never know what someone is going through, and what words or what you present and what you intend may end up impacting and hurting someone. And oftentimes when I come on here, it's not easy for my beloveds to hear me talk about cancer and surviving HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer and going to chemo, and the weight, WAIGHT, of the weight, WAIT, right? Waiting for that day to come that they're going to tell you your numbers aren't good, and or side effects are extreme, or waiting for the results of a PET scan or an MRI, or going to sleep and just praying that you are blessed to see another day. So all of those things come into play when we're having these dialogues and these conversations. And the one thing that I want to leave with you today is how we don't live in fear. Now we can have these deep conversations about fear, right? The Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, but that means that fear should not overcome us. It doesn't negate what we feel. We did a session, broadcast on In My Feelings, right? I'm just going to feel what I feel. And if I feel fearful, then I need to direct that fear to loving people that are going to talk me through and be with me and journey with me, whether it's praying, whether it's seeking God, whether it's praying, reaching out to beautiful people in my world that speak life and will journey with me. it doesn't negate your feelings. So feel what you feel, be who you be, and reach out to those in your community and in your village where the healing happens, where the transformation happens, where the liberation from individualistic thought and things, well, I got to do this and I got to do this in secret. I got to do this by myself. Or you don't have to. You make choices. Make choices that are best for you. You know you better than anyone, right? So making those choices that are best for you, and understanding that those choices other people may not understand, but if they love you, they're going to love you unconditionally with unconditional positive regard. So, there are some who don't understand living out loud and telling my story, whether it's being a teen mom, whether it's losing my mom at age of 23, losing my dad at age of 39, um, being diagnosed with HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And these are not easy things to talk about, but they need to be talked about so that we can learn from one another and we can move through this healing space together, right? We don't have to suffer, right? Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So we do our very best not to suffer, calling doctors to the table and saying, nah, manage my pain as a Black woman. Don't make assumptions about me. Knowing thyself so you can teach other people how to teach you and how to treat you, excuse me. So all of those things come into play when we talk about Tuesdays with Tawana. And on this day, on my birthday, I celebrate life. I celebrate breath. I celebrate community. I celebrate my beloved family, blood or otherwise. I celebrate just the mere fact of being able to log on to a computer and have a dialogue. I have Wi Fi. I'm about to eat lunch. I'm grateful for those things. And I also hold space for those who don't have that. I breathe not only for myself, but I breathe for others. I not only show love and love myself, but I do that so that I know what it looks like to love others. What's up, Dr. Falami in the building? Yes, it's so much to celebrate. And even in the midst of this pandemic, even in the midst of racial injustice that keeps happening, even in the midst of governments not wanting to support those who are really going through and really in the midst of lack right now because of the pandemic. All of these things are going on, and yet there are reasons to celebrate. And if you don't have a reason to celebrate, seek and ye shall find. Look around you, look at the programs, removing the ego, and look around you and invite people into your space. Let people know what's needed, because when you put it in the atmosphere, it is then attracted to you. So I deal with healing differently. I deal with pain differently. It doesn't mean I don't deal with it, because there are times when I was sitting down reflecting the other day, and I just couldn't believe that I was diagnosed with HER2 metastatic breast cancer. Shock. I couldn't have planned it. I couldn't have planned it. So oftentimes having those conversations with God, like, really? The kind of side eye, like, really? We really going to do this? And we're doing it. And I had to learn to love myself, learn about myself, learn about breathing, learning about community, learning about being an unapologetic Black woman on this journey, learning how to advocate for myself, learning how to use my voice, learning to find my voice, learning to use my agency. And I encourage each of you to do the same. All of the things that I am listing does not have Tawana's name attached to it. It is for us. It is for the Black diaspora. It is Ubuntu. It is because because I am, you are, therefore I am. And we cannot do this alone. We cannot do this without one another. So celebrating a birthday or celebrating another 365 days, I celebrate every day. And this is just a monumental opportunity for me to reflect on beautiful things that happened from last year to this year or for years before, and how my daughter was my caregiver and my son would come home from college, to be with us because I was diagnosed while he was in college. I mean, the list goes on and on. When Dink comes up to me and just checks on me in my room when I'm lying in my bed and says, Mima, are you okay? Do you need anything? That is community. That is love. That is healing. Let us not fall into the trappings of colonization and the trappings of capitalism and the trappings of white dominant thought and white supremacy and white privilege and white toxicity. Let us fall back in love with our heritage. Let us fall back in love and go back and fetch it like Sankofa. Let us fall back in love with the royalty that we are. Let us fall back in love even in the midst of the mistakes or the ill choices that we make. Let us fall back in love with forgiving ourselves and forgiving one another. Let us fall back in love despite the pandemic, despite diagnosis, despite lack, despite unemployment, despite stress, despite what you are going through. Let us look to those beautiful possibilities. A heinous past, a hopeful presence for a beautiful future. So I'm glad I am celebrating this day with you. I am so grateful that you joined me on today. I love each of you dearly. Words can't express how much I love you, how much I adore you, how much I lift you up and hold space for you, how much I think about you and just call your name and put it in the atmosphere. This is what we do. This is how we build community. And this is how we show up for one another on my 51st birthday. Yeah, yeah. Hello, 51. And I hope that the next 365 days will be filled with healing and joy and community and more Tuesdays with Tawana. I love y'all dearly. Take a deep breath with me. Just feel the love and feel the joy. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath. And just feel all the feels, but most of all, just feel the love that is surrounding you right now. In spite of what you are going through, you are loved. You are magical. You are mystical. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are so divine. And I love each of you. It's Tuesdays with Tawana. Show some love to somebody today. And to me for my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I love y'all. I'm out. Later.